Oops. Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Just let me double check one sec with YouTube. One sec. Yes, I think everything is working. So we can officially start with this experiment today. And I'm going to do it after starting with my timer. I hope you can see it. Yes, here. So my idea is just to keep it quite short, let's say 25 minutes at most. And of course, if you're joining me live through YouTube, I'm not sure how much I can follow the chat, but just try. It's an experiment for me, so I love to see if I can multitask when I'm doing stuff. I have to say something. Today, I had so many hiccups to do this one. The first one starts from the fact that, as my t-shirt suggests, work hard and not harder. I didn't do it. In Italian we say predichi bene ma razzoli male. So it means that, yes, you're saying what you're supposed to do, but you're not doing it. And this one is my case. I didn't sleep enough between preparing for German lesson and all the other stuff. I'm sorry. So my English might be worse than normal. If you know me from my Skillshare class, you know that usually I wear my Mario suit, but it's already too hot to wear it today, and I thought I had already too many hiccups for this life. So let's just try it in this way. Okay, so in the meanwhile that I wait if someone wants to join or ask me a question or something like this, I will just briefly give you my idea for this experiment. That is to focus on Procreate brushes, because as I wrote on Instagram and my website yesterday during the Design Cut Live, I found out that they are offering this amazing bundle for free. And as you know, I'm a brush collector. And I do have most of them already, but I think everyone should have them. So I was like, okay. Let's share with the world and let's do a live session where we use my technique to test the brush to know some of them better. I have to be honest, for this night, I'm going to pick 4 of them from one of the sets that is included. And I also prepare a sample of my Procreate template that is available in the Skillshare class. But sorry, let's recap. If you go on my website in the blog section, so you write MaddaMom and you basically you go to the blog here, you will find this one that is the news of today's event. And here you will have all the links that you need. You will have, of course, the link to the YouTube Live, where I'm going also most probably to post also this one. I'm not sure, it depends how it goes. I really don't know. But let me know if it's useful and if I should post it or not. You will get the Procreate template test that I mentioned. I'm going to show you soon. So I suggest you to go there immediately. In the meanwhile that we wait these 2 minutes for other people to join us, you can download it from I think, yes, I had also some issue with iCloud today. So I had to use Dropbox. It's the first time that I share file with Dropbox for this kind of event, but it works. And so when you will download it, you will just open it and you will have this file that we are going to talk soon. Here is the original one that I use from my Skillshare class. And again, the link is available at the same page. Sorry, I don't know why I close it. So here you have the link to my Skillshare class. If you're not a Skillshare student, I guess they will give you 1 month for free. And then here you have the Design Cut bundle, if you need still to install them. And you have also a tutorial that I prepared to install the bundle that I did this morning. So if you go here, you will just get all the explanation that you need. So that so, we are absolutely in time to start with the real work. let's start then. So I think that tested brushes is something that relaxes me, but is also so useful because as I might already show you, I have really thousands of brush set. I also do brush set. And so the number of them is gigantic, but I'm not talking about organizing the set at this moment, but I'm talking about to know how a brush works. And to do so, I created this guide that is based on the concept of, let me put it like this, that is based on the concept of lines that will allow you also to test the brush in most of the function that could be useful while you're doing an illustration, for example. But we will go into detail when we will start to do it. My main point is that in this way, I'm not going to know better the brush, but I'm also to find out which brush I like or not. And I will also remember faster why I like a brush so much or than other, you know. Sorry, also German was coming out. For example, one of my favorite artists that again has many brush set in Design Cut is Lisa Glantz. And I tested actually, I think I have one part just for Lisa Glantz brush set, but let's say, for example, I'm not an expert of gouache technique, but I started to draw some pattern with gouache technique. And I remember there was a brush in one of Lisa's set that I loved, but I don't remember which one it is. So if I go, for example, in my Lisa Glantz section, as you can see, is pretty wide, and I think also I have other that are not here. There are so many, so I could be lucky, and the brush that is in my mind is exactly the one that is selected as it is. Or I can go in my brush set library, and I would see that I did test 5 of them, and I adored the third one. And if I check it, I could see the test that I did. And I could see, for example, that there are at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quality that I super adore of this brush. And I can see directly that is good also, for example, for, say, I'm not a calligrapher or an expert in lettering, even in Procreate, but it makes sense for me to see just in a sec that I might like this brush a lot also for this, right? Or for example, that even though I like it so much, it might not be the best choice when I do the filling function for Procreate. But anyway, it's time now to start with the real work. So to do so, let me spotlight the iPad. I'm not able to spotlight again. What? Just 1 second. I'm so sorry. I will remove the spotlight. You are supposed to see just my iPad. I hope it will work. And so let's start together. So I suppose you are installing this one from the template that I'm providing to you. And today we are going to test from the sample brush set provided for free by Design Cut, the GRM Ultimate Ink. And we're going to test the GRM ink Bumpy, stroke, the erase, and also we will try with the pattern. And for this one, I'm going to give you a preview of the next class that you're going to find in Skillshare. So just wait for the final juice at the end of this slide. So let's start with the first one. So you have your guide on, you select the brush you wanted to test. Usually I go for a black or a gray. And in this file, you will keep your guide on, but as you can see, I already prepared for you a template with the name of the brush that we're going to test. And this one is the first one, Ink Bumpy. And then you will simply start to test it. Hey Paola, ciao! Ho visto la chat. Oh, sorry, I'm talking in Italian. Paola is here and I'm so happy she is. I guess, yes, you can see from my eyes. No, you cannot see my eyes, but I guess you can feel it from my voice that I'm smiling. So thank you so much, Paola, for being here. So, but let's start. So I selected the Bumpy brush. I have black, and then I will just start to do the lines. It might seem like a childish exercise, but actually we are testing many Procreate functions. For example, the first thing is that you have to try to find a dimension that will match the guide. So this one is a little bit bigger. This one is, of course, smaller. This one for me, it's okay. So once I like the dimension that match the guide, this one will be also a reference in general on the dimension that I will use for other projects. So I will just add it as a bookmark. In this case, size 7 for me is okay. And I will continue also trying to do some letters to see, because this one will allow me to see if this brush is a good one for some lettering or calligraphy. And when I'm at this point, I already write also the name of the brush, just to get even an additional exercise. Usually for this long line, I try to see how it works in this way, and I love it. And then I keep the function of Procreate to make the straight line, and I see if it's cool or not. And it is cool. So when I like quite a lot the behavior of a brush, I tend to put a star or an X or a tick to say that I like it. And maybe I will add here a dot to remember. So which one is the reason? Now here, I will just wanted to develop the muscle memory of my hand when I'm working with this brush to see how it works. I cannot express all the feeling, but you will see if you try with me. And in this part, I will just not just repeating, let's say, the same direction, but I will also try to experiment in the pressure of the brush. So for example, I will try to be light. I will start like light and then go big and light and big. I just wanted to really get familiar with this brush. And for example, I really like the fact that it's still rough, but has this kind of control. So I might like also this aspect and put another dot here. Here with the curve is even more important if you are a calligrapher, because you will do like, for example, you can experiment like going up, you should supposed to be light, going down, you're supposed to be heavier, and so on. You can experiment as you like, and here a curly line. Same, you can try also, for example, to tilt the pencil to see if there is some effect on this brush. In this case, it's not there. And then you might try, for example, to go a little bigger or not, and experiment different angles. I like it, but it's not so special for me at this on this exercise. So I will not add another dot, but in general, I really like this brush. What I do in this part is here I start with the dimension that I keep a note on. So in this case, it was the 7%. Then I will go down. That is 2%. I will go in the midway and this one. Why I'm doing this? Because I wanted to see how the brush grew faster or not. And here I will do again curly line just to show if this one could be useful or not with larger line or my bookmark. Now here we're going to test in this part the opacity. Why? Because you wanted to see how the brush overlap. For example, full opacity, medium opacity, you see the effect, or low opacity. And I like the effect. So when I like it, I proceed with an additional testing. That is like a testing with different color by sampling the yellow and the blue, because I like to sample with a light color, as the yellow and one that is middle way as this blue. And again, I will just try again here with higher opacity and full opacity. See? Good. And now we will try to see how this bumpy brush is working with the shapes. So you can stay with this color, you can go back to black as you like. For example, not bad. Let's try also with the help of Procreate in shaping. I think this one is perfect. It's really perfect because you might need something that look rough, but actually is really good shape. So yes, this one, I like it. I think I'm going to use this function with this brush. And now let's see how the brush behaves with the fill and color. And it behaves so good. Oh my gosh, I really like it. When I really like something, I just put also smiley face. And I add another one here. And now here you can just taste again with the shape, because sometimes you wanted to check, for example, with, I don't know, like different filling. You can use again the Procreate function in building a shape and see how it works. This one, it depends on the brush itself. So this brush doesn't seem to have a crucial effect on this one, but in general, I did like it. And what is more important is that next time I'm curious about the behavior of this one, I can just go and have a super fast overview of how this brush works. Then the next one that I would like just to faster show you how to test it, but then you can continue also by yourself later, is the second one, that is this GRM stroke dash dot. This one is a funny one, right? So I will go back with the black color, and let's see how this one behaves. Because we can test any kind of brush. We don't have just to test the traditional brushes. Oh, yes, it's so fun, but maybe it's not exactly the dimension that I want. I will just try a bigger dimension before put my bookmark. Yes, I think this one is the size I want to bookmark. And here I will test the straight line. Oh, I mean, the straight line is pretty cool, but I see that there is a problem here. So I might want to mark, in this case, let's say with another normal brush, that this one might be an issue. I mean, you can cancel it, but you might want to pay attention on this. Now let's go back again. So I'm expecting already that this brush might be a little bit tricky to use on letters. And it is difficult to control. So despite the fact that it's super fun, I don't think I'm going to use this one on lettering at all. But I could find other way to use it. And for example, I see that if the straight line gives me an issue, I can try autothink. I'm not expecting to have any pressure, but actually there is. If you see, I can do light think or not. I can even, the tilting is not, oh, sorry, no. The tilting is kind of working in this way. So my point is that the guide is there to let you try to test the brush in most of the aspects that you might need, but some of them are just, let's say, design for specific use, and it's fine. It's totally fine. This one is an amazing brush. For example, I don't think we need really to test, but it's working well, actually, the line in different direction. But you might want to test this one with the different thing. Oh, and you see that, for example, in this case, it scales in this way. Let's try a bigger scale and a big scale. Oh, for example, you see, this one is an effect that I was not expecting from this brush. So it's cool that the testing let me, it's so fun, actually. It's so unpredictable and so much fun. So I don't think we really need to test neither the opacity, neither the shape. I mean, we could try. Oh, actually this one. There is no way this one is going to work in the filling. Oh, this one actually gives me the idea that I could use it to do some frame or some decoration. So actually not bad that we try anyway. Let's see. Blue. And let's see for the fur of an animal. Oh, not bad. Cool. So actually, I'm glad that I try no matter what. But my point is this one, is that when next time I will go back to check how this brush set works, I could see faster the behavior of the brush. And of course, I can see what I could use it for or not. I hope this one was useful and clear. Now, I wanted just to show you something peculiar, I think, because I chose this brush set today because there is also the erase brush. I think this one is super, super useful because I tended to focus on the brush that I use to draw the line, but many times I'm in a mess because I don't have the proper eraser. So despite the fact that you could use this eraser also to do the normal testing. Oh, sorry, I didn't select the level here. So you can do the testing as normal for the author brush as explained. But what is more important for me is that, let's say, I take this one like this and I do it. And by the way, I think it's perfect. We can test it for erasing. So we can just keep the pressure here. Now the brush here of the eraser will be the same, as you can see. And we can test it for canceling, for erasing, sorry. And what is important, for example, of this brush is that it goes more intense when you with the pressure, or also when you are continue with the line. So I think this one is super important. And by the way, you could even, for example, go in the first test if you don't want to, you want just to test it as a eraser, and you could just do 3 finger down, copy, and then go in the third layer, that is this one. You could paste it here, and then you could just try to use it as an eraser. And so check, for example, if you can, for example, correct a part, or what happens if you do this, this. Depends on the use that you do the most. I think this one is the important part. Then, final, but as I told you, the one that I think is more peculiar for this live session is going to be tasting the GRM pattern, Haftone regular. For doing this testing, I prepare for you. So let's turn on the guide. Again, if I did it too faster, remember there is the Skillshare class that goes step by step in all this procedure. So please just check that one. Here I'm going fast because it's live and we wanted to keep it short and we just have 2 more minutes. So what I wanted to do is like I had a part just to check the fact that this one is a texture brush. So my point is that this one is a brush that you could use to taste normally, as we did before. So you will just, for example, oh, this one is too big. So I will just go smaller. If you wanted to test it in this way, the traditional one we did before. So you can also check how it is with the letter. Oh, funny thing. You know that I'm a super fan of Yayoi Kusama, so I might like this brush so much also for this possibility. But I mean, I think this brush, and there is also some pressure sensitivity that you can check. Yes, I love it. Going super fast because we're finishing the time. So you can continue this part. But what I want to say is that this brush was done most probably to test for the texture. So if you will go here, and this one will be the main topic of the following Skillshare class I'm doing on brushes, Procreate brush, is that you will turn on this one, go here, and in the layer 36, in this specific case, you can take your brush and just check the texture, how it goes. And you could do it, for example, on different color. So for example, let's say I will add the color, this green color. I would just add it like this. And I wanted to test how this brush will work to give this kind of effect of the halftone regular. So I can work like this. Let's say that here I wanted to work with a bigger one. And here I will check that basically it's just the brush size is bigger, but not the pattern. I may want to check it with a different color then to see if the effect is different. And with a different color, you will see that this brush has a different behavior. You see that it's getting I hope you can see that it's getting darker when you, for example, here is lighter, as you can see. Let's try to remove, let's try to remove this part and just work here. So my point is that sometimes without this exercising of testing, you might not consider functionality that could be super useful for you in a future reference project. And again, you don't have, one thing that I think my student raised as a doubt was, okay, sorry. I was thinking if I can pin also myself. Okay, I'm not sure if I can pin both of us. Oh, sorry. Okay, this one was a technical problem, but I think I'm done and I'm done with the time. So my point was sometimes people think, oh my gosh, I have so many brushes. This one cannot be an additional work on Procreate because, I mean, there are really so many. You don't have to test all of them. The point is that sometimes you need like a low concentration job because, I don't know, you're doing something. When, for example, I'm watching TV with my family and they choose the movie, I tended to test a lot of brushes. And what is nice is that when I need, I can just super fast find them. And this one, I think is amazing. And as a last thing before I say goodbye, it's like if you have any issue, something like that, please just find me. I suppose you can send me a direct message on Instagram, or even better, if you post a question or a doubt in the Skillshare class, because this one is the topic of that class that I didn't promote so much. This one is actually the first time I even post the link on the website, but is a class that really changed my attitude with brushes. And as you know, I'm a productivity geek, and finding this workflow was really a revelation, and this is why I wanted to share with everyone. Again, I warmly suggest you to download also the bundle that is available for free, I don't know until when, of Design Cut, because I did have paid for most of the complete bundle, and I think already the sample are unbelievable good. So just do it. And that's all. I finished my time.